Want to achieve a makeup look that is equal parts enchanting and mature? Well, my loves, today I'm going to teach you how to transform into the office siren of your dreams with the power of makeup. Let's get started. Hi my loves! I'm going to start by showing you my nails that I did for another video that is coming up soon, but they're in hyphen based. But for now, let's get into the actual tutorial. I'm starting off with, of course, my primer from LA Girl. This is sort of my go-to, but I'm thinking of switching to a different, sort of formula to test it out. But then the key for this base is going to be brushing on really light layers, almost like translucent layers of foundation, and I'm just using my LA Girl foundation for this, but I am doing about 2 layers to build up my coverage more slowly and more effectively, and I really like the way that the brush really just distributes the product across my face pretty evenly, and it gives such a nice finish. Next, I'm picking my inspo from xiaohongshu because this is my go-to for makeup inspo these days, and I am reverse engineering sort of the looks that I've picked out. I start by drawing 2 upside down triangles underneath my eyes. I use a rectangle-ish shape for my forehead and a circle/square-ish shape for my chin, straight down my nose in the center. Then I'm using the blush shade to go around the perimeter of the outermost sides of the 2 triangles and then up to my temple underneath my chin. I'm going to highlight my cupid's bow just to make it pop a little bit more to give more dimension, and then I'm contouring with the darkest contour shade. And the key to this contour base is I let this sit for about 5 minutes so it doesn't blend out too much once I go to use my puff and sort of like smooth out all the marks. And I'm not wiping, I'm really just patting this in. Next, I'm using my Forte blush just to emphasize the parts that I've already blushed with my other palette. And just to make the contour even more apparent, I'm using this powder blush from Broadway Colors to emphasize the highlight and the contour. And initially, I wanted to do a sort of button nose contour that I normally do, but I figured for this look, it would be more fitting to do a more snatched nose look rather than a rounder look. So I end up abandoning, as you see, this button nose contour that I'm sort of outlining right now, and sort of opt to just go straight down with the highlight shade without separating it. Next, I'm going to highlight under my brow bone, and we're going to use even more blush. I'm using this cloud paint from Glossier and Storm, and this achieved the finished blush look that I love so much. I think it's my favorite part of the look, honestly, besides the eyes. And again, just to make this look even sharper and maintain that, I'm going to emphasize that contour some more with the powder. Then I'm setting my base, and honestly, you would want to shave your brows before you do your makeup so your hairs are not all over your face like they were for me. But for this look, thin brows are a must. So I'm just shaving those thin and straight, and I love the way that this looks. Next, I'm using my Beauty Creations eye primer to prime my eyes, and since the primer sort of like goes over my nose contour a little bit, I'm going to re-emphasize that before going in with my Shadella Dreamy Eyeshadow Palette in the color palette Reverse the Mood. I'm using this gray shade across the entirety of my lid, sort of as my base. This is what I tend to do for most of my shadow looks. I use one color for the base and just extend that across the entirety of my eye until it's pretty even. Next, I'm using my Flower Nose palette because honestly this white shadow is unmatched. It's the best one that I own. And I really want to make sure that my inner corners are super bright. That is sort of like the key point for the eyeshadow part. And I'm just taking this, like I said, in my inner corner, almost cutting the crease. Next, I'm taking a fluffy brush and slowly building up the black shade on the outer corner of my lids. And the key with this is to use really light pats of this, since the blackest part of the look is actually going to be at the start of where the gray meets the black shade. I'm really going to concentrate it out in that beginning of the outer corner of the eye, if that makes sense. But I am taking the black shade, and on this brush I am tightlining my eyes, and this achieves a less sharp and more smoky tightline, which I really enjoy. So after you tightline, inevitably there's going to be some like fallout or some parts that get a little muddy, so I'm just gonna re-emphasize those parts. Next, I'm doing my aegyo with the gray shade and then layering the white on top in the center of the gray marks. And our eyeshadow is done. So we're going to go in with my Judy Doll's Ultra Slim eyeliner in black, and I am doing the thinnest long wing possible. And honestly, Judy Doll eyeliner is the goat for this because the applicator is so thin. So a honest recommendation, because this is my go-to eyeliner. Then I'm doing my brows. Since I've already cut them pretty straight and thin, there's not too much work I have to do to fill them in. I'm just drawing them so that they're a little bit longer and a little bit more opaque. And I'm using my Lily by Red hard brow pencil in the shade Red Brown. And yeah, just drawing them as straight as I can and extending that end of my brow. Then I'm going to clean up with my cream contour palette again and re-emphasize my nose bridge contour. Next, I'm emphasizing the aegyo even more with my ColorGram aegyo pens, and as I've described in other tutorials, since my skin tone is much darker than is marketed for these pens, I use these more as a double highlighter, so I'm using the darker shade to fill in the base of the aegyo, and I'm going in the center of all of those marks with the lighter shade. So these are really double highlighters for my aegyo. After curling my lashes, I'm going to actually use two mascaras to get my lashes as long as they can be. My Judy Doll mascara has a thicker wand, so I'm using that one first, and then I'm using my Can Make mascara to really help like fine-tune the bottom lashes and to just like separate my top lashes a little bit more. And of course, since nobody's perfect, I get a little bit of mascara on my eyeshadow, so I'm going to just re-emphasize my inner corner and then redraw my eyeliner in the inner corner. I swear y'all, I am not gatekeeping, but they do not sell this lip liner online. I bought it at the beauty supply store, so I'll leave the details down below. But I'm using that liner in combination with my Roman Juicy lip tint in Fig Fig. And honestly, this was the first time of me using this combo, and I love it so much. Then I'm using my favorite lashes by Forte. These are glueless lashes, so they already have adhesive on them, and I am just applying these underneath my lash line. And it's important to put mascara on before because it helps them grip easier. And to finish off the look, I am just using my Ruby Kisses lip oil. And we're done. I love the way that this look turned out. It's different from the more cutesy looks I've done for previous videos, and is definitely like more sharp eye honestly really love this look, maybe even better than the typical makeup I do. So I'm gonna try to perfect this look even more. But yeah, if you guys end up doing this look, tag me on Instagram and I'll see you in the next one. Love you guys so much. Bye bye.